When we think about fall planted, spring flowering bulbs, one of the first things that often comes to mind is the crocus. And we're just talking about crocus species in general. I want you to be able to recognize a crocus when you see it. And what a crocus is this little purple flower right here. Now purple is not the only color that it blooms in. You'll see white crocus and yellow crocus, but it is a beautiful spring blooming perennial flower that can really bring a breath of fresh air to the landscape here in early spring. So these bulbs were planted in the fall, and right now it is towards the middle of March, and we've got a beautiful crocus bloom. These beautiful purple flowers really are showing out right now. Of course, again, like I said, it comes in at different colors. There's yellow ones and there's white ones and some different colors of crocus. For us in the southeastern United States, crocus aren't super long-lived, and so if you like crocus, you have to continue to plant them over time. Now if you are lucky, sometimes you will see them start to naturalize just a little bit. There are different species of crocus. Some are better for different regions of the country, and so look for regional knowledge when you're planting crocus, and you might get a few more extra years out of them. But a beautiful spring flowering plant. One of the great ID characteristics is the stripe that is on the foliage, and so the foliage is sword-like, it's small, and it's got just a very distinct, typical stripe right down the middle that's lighter colored. Now, I've also been very successful planting crocus directly in a turfgrass lawn. They bloom very early in the season, and the foliage is very small, and once they've bloomed, a lot of times you can just mow at a high height over those crocus in the lawn, and it really doesn't bother the crocus because you're not really cutting into the foliage too much. You want to leave as much foliage as possible to help hopefully recharge that little corm that's under the ground. And the bulb of a crocus is a corm, and it does form little daughter bulbs on the side of it that will regrow in subsequent years. So a beautiful flower. Crocus is known for one specific species, Crocus sativa, which is where the spice saffron comes from the little filaments inside of the crocus. So a beautiful plant, a beautiful little bulb that you should really consider planting in your landscape. It can handle a variety of conditions, loves to be in full sun, hardy from zones 3 through 8, just a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch tall. There are bigger species of crocus, and different cultivars are different sizes as well. Here's a landscape tip. The crocus brings early spring bloom to the landscape. Plant in masses in lawns, under trees, or in sunny woodland areas.